Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. B-52 Stratofortress is the sign of American air power. It takes off to the skies, releasing thick plumes of smoke that could instill overwhelming apprehension in anyone witnessing the sight. In today's episode, we are going to unravel the mysteries of these smoky trails. The B-52 made its debut in the 1950s as a high-altitude nuclear bomber. Since then, the B-52 has remained the linchpin of strategic bombing and has contributed to missions spanning across the globe. Starting with the B-52A flying for the first time in 1954, the bomber evolved into many variants to fulfill exact mission demands. Boeing ended the production line in 1962 with the latest H model. A total of 102 H model bombers have been manufactured and delivered. At present, only H models are on active duty, and a total of 76 bombers are operated by the Air Force Global Strike Command.
The B-52 is one of our most capable Air Force assets and is capable of launching and employing almost every single weapon type that the Air Force is capable of using. Everything from maritime support through mining operations to standoff weapons and smart precision-guided munitions for air-to-ground employment.
The B-52 bomber has become the sought-after platform for a multitude of missions, including nuclear deterrence, search and rescue, and conventional strikes.
Timing. One away.
While all these missions come with stringent time constraints, getting the bomber into action is vital. To circumvent the hour-long engine starting process, U.S. airmen rely on a controlled explosive device or a cartridge to get the job done. A cartridge contains solid propellants and generates high-pressure gas when ignited. Eight cartridges are stored in a storage rack towards the aft section of the bomber and inserted into the cartridge starter of the engine, accessed via a panel. As a practice, airmen load the cartridge only on the number 4 and 5 engines. Once these engines have kicked in, the other 6 are started with the help of these 2, as they provide the required pneumatics and electricity. In the H models, all 8 engines can be cart-started at once, drastically reducing the engine's starting time. A single cartridge weighs around 8 pounds and is shaped like a 1-gallon milk jug. With the engines brought to life in minutes, the next limiting factor for a scramble takeoff is the pilot's response time. To keep this low, pilots expecting a scramble alert maintain a level of preparedness. They wear flight suits during duty hours and rush into the locker rooms to grab their gear at the very moment a scramble alert is received.
Sweet buddy.
The siren is the first sign of the scramble process. Pilots, maintenance staff, and ground support staff contribute with their full potential to expedite the scramble takeoff. During a minimum interval takeoff, or MITO, all the available bombers are scrambled and put into the sky in the shortest possible time.
Rotate.
Seeing many B-52s take off one after the other, releasing thick smoke trails, is definitely an awe-inspiring sight. The reason behind the smoke-spitting engines of the older B-52s was the water-injected takeoff to increase engine thrust. Water particles in the combustion chamber prompt partial combustion, leaving unburnt fuel particles at the jet exhaust, creating smoky trails. With the introduction of the B-52H model fitted with fairly advanced Pratt & Whitney TF-33 engines, the water-injected takeoff was discontinued. This resulted in less smoke than the older versions, but the technology back in the 1960s could not eliminate the smoke trails entirely, leaving current B-52s with a smoke trail each time they take off. Apart from the engines, the B-52 is flying with some old-school avionics, which were introduced 70 years ago. Flying sorties in modern warfare with obsolete green-colored cathode ray tube displays and steam gauges is really a daunting task. Retrofitting the B-52s with Boeing's Combat Network Communications Technology System, or CONNECT, starting in 2013, has been able to offer a new lease on life for the bomber by infusing novel technology and mitigating the pilot's chores. With a mix of old school and novel technologies, pilots require a specific degree of prowess to fly this airplane. As the bomber could accommodate a wide array of weapons and fly for a multitude of missions, such as close air support, air interdiction, strategic attacks, and offensive counter-air, the pilot should undergo extensive training. Understanding the idiosyncrasies of the bomber comes in handy during real-world missions to tip the scales in their favor. The B-52 Formal Training Unit, or FTU, is responsible for training pilots and spends $9.7 million to train a single B-52 pilot. This immense cost is commensurate with the extensive training provided to successfully execute vital missions across the globe in threatening situations. Similar to the critical workload behind a top-secret sortie, pilots get busy with the most unclassified mission they will ever fly each year. It's none other than the iconic flyover at the Super Bowl National Football League. Authorities from the Air Force work hand in hand with the NFL event coordinators to make the flyover the crescendo of the entire game. Apart from the scenic value added by the flyover, it resembles American air power and inspires young generations to pursue a career in the military. The flyover is no easy task. Pilots attend a couple of briefings prior to the flyover, similar to what they do when flying combat sorties.
Well, in that area. Then going to Caddo, does look unfavorable for pod work again.
In certain aspects, attending a flyover is more demanding as aircraft fly inches apart from each other at low altitudes. The Blue Angels stand as the elite squadron that has honed its skills specifically for the flyovers. Blue Angels flying in formation is a sight to behold as they fly inches apart and break away at any moment with a sudden maneuver. Pilots embellish their moves with the tight maneuvers highlighted by smoke trails. During most of the maneuvers, Blue Angel pilots experience high G loads that necessitate using a G suit. However, they do not wear a G suit and tackle the blood pooling due to higher G loads through muscle contraction. Including the presence of the Blue Angels, the United States is known for hosting a large number of air shows, and Europe is no exception. The Paris Air Show tops the list as it is one of the largest in Europe. The air show holds a unique value due to the presence of both military and commercial aircraft. Hundreds of aircraft from manufacturers around the globe partake in the air show, showcasing their cutting-edge technologies. Mesmerizing flyovers are nothing new to the Paris Air Show. Aircraft manufacturers make these air shows the ideal opportunity to introduce their new products to the public. One such example is the A400M Atlas, the multi-terrain transport aircraft manufactured by Airbus that made its public debut at the 2010 Berlin Air Show. The A400M could undertake various roles due to its versatility on the battlefield. In such a setting, self-defense is essential to keep the aircraft safe from hostile attacks. The Defensive Aids Subsystem, or DASS, protects the aircraft from incoming threats with a dedicated expendable dispensing system. The system comprises cartridge dispenser modules waiting to dispense a salvo of flares. In a world where quieter and cleaner engines are stealing attention, the B-52 is marching to the beat of its own drum, with 60-year-old engines leaving unintentional smoky trails. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.